Good morning, Ramon. How are you after that fine Halloween extravaganza yesterday?
Oh, Mindy, I had a fun day to say the least, but good to see you, the Midwest premier sports handicapper, Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Uh, well, Miles Garrett, he stole the show yesterday, not only with his play, but with his costume. I mean, man, that was awesome. You knew when he walked into the stadium like that, he was in for a a big night there. So Monday Night Football, and a big disappointment. We didn't get the World Series. Shame on us, Mindy. I'm sorry I did not give an an updated weather report on the game.
I wasn't even like paying attention to it, honestly. And so I was pretty shocked when I was like, "What? It's postponed. Why would it be doing that?" So
Yeah,
I was just as surprised, I guess. I feel like for baseball, I don't always have to put the weather into my, handicapping, but again, it is that time of year, I guess, in October that November now that crazy things can happen with the weather. But we're not in New York, so
I saw one stat that Philadelphia, every time they play in a World Series, Game Three has had weather issues four
oh,
times. They've been three delays and the postponement every time in Game Three and several Phillies World Series appearances. But neither here nor there. We'll be back at it. We'll talk about the World Series in just a moment, so we won't belabor that too much here. But I don't know. Maybe they thought that the football game would be good, and it didn't turn out to be too great unless you were a Browns backer. So
right.
we'll start to head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com, and review yesterday's action. Maybe we can start, Mindy, with the football game then, since there was no World Series and the Browns came out. Uh, like I said, with Miles Garrett, they did the job. The Bengals did not have that running game that I promised yesterday. As I gave out the Bengals on the show. But most interesting was the total on the game landed kind of right on the number. I think there were probably some winners and
Maybe. Yeah. I hadn't
losers
seen
out there, but
any half points hardly at all. So I'm not sure if there was anything out there. But yeah, I mean, it is crazy to land right on that number. And I was surprised because I went out, trick or treating with my nieces and nephews. And when I came back, I was like 0-0 in the second quarter. How could this even be? So yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy there with that. But otherwise, it just kind of seemed like Bengals couldn't get anything going, and Browns were able to run the ball some. And Brissett, geez, he had a pretty good, decent day. Like that's kind of the Jacoby Brissett I think we've all been, kind of looking forward to or anticipating how he would do with the Browns.
it makes a great, interesting situation for the Browns when
Doesn't
their
it?
starting quarterback is almost expected to return soon. But Brissett, it's still been up and down a little bit for the Browns, but they own the Bengals right now at this point, it seems like. Uh, Shame on me there. But what about the total, Mindy? You had the over on the show. I
I
gave
did.
out the under as a premium. Who had the bad beat? You or me? It was 11-0 early in the third quarter, so I thought I was going to be able to come home a winner.
Right. So I kind of feel like you, especially going, the first quarter with no points. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I feel like Ramon probably got the bad beat, especially when you think at halftime, you're looking pretty good in that one.
But the scoring took off in the second half, and Joey B took advantage of some lax defense because the Browns were in complete control of the game and win again and did the job there. So, anyways, Tony had the winner on that one on his video. I know that. So, Monday Night Football, we'll wrap that one up, I think, there. Mindy, Team Steam, not a great night, 2-4, but we did okay on some video picks. I went 2-1 here on the show with the hockey picks.
Yeah.
Detroit laid an egg certainly, but the Kings dominated St. Louis. You ended up with a push there on the video there, but Washington and Carolina, total under there. You nailed that one. So good pick there. And in the NBA, I went 4-1. Take a look, Mindy, over at Tony'sPicks.com at my day here, a 4-2 day. And well, for me, Mindy, just I keep on cranking right now in the NBA. That streak for me really dating
Yep.
back to last year. I mean, I'm trying to get to that plus 3,000 unit mark. So I came through yesterday, a 4-in-1 day with NBA premiums. There you see that NFL push. Hopefully, you guys got the better number, or at least didn't lose. Let me know in the comments whether you guys were on maybe the over and the under and got a bad beat or a lucky break there. But you see some of my winners: Mindy, Utah, Pacers, Sixers, Wizards over, and Kings, Charlotte under. So how'd your day go?
Yeah,
Other
not
than
too bad.
other than the fun
I was
trick or
just
treat?
one game under. I played 5 there in the NBA. Went to 2 and 3. And again, just losing by a basket here or there, that sort of thing, So it's kind of been the way this week was just really kind of like right on a razor's edge for me, just pretty much right even. So looking to pick that up here in November. Was on that monthly leaderboard August, September, missed October. So ready to hit that one again. But if you watched, Tony's show in the afternoon there, did put out a winner with the Capitals at the plus 1.5. I think you had the winner on the other side. Also, you took them on the money line on the morning show. So yeah, still picking some winners out there, even though overall we might have had maybe a little bit of an up and down day. But hopefully, all of our info, you can go ahead and do your diligence with what we give you and make sure it meshes with your picks so you can get the best lines out there and the best plays for your card each and every day.
Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. I want to say hello to Richard from Ghana. How about that, Mindy?
Yeah, that's awesome.
About our viewership and where they come from and how many we have and our growing Team Steam family and how we give you the first look on YouTube every day at those line moves. It seems like I'm always pulling a fast one on Mindy, but again, I mean, she's obviously on some very sharp sides because she prepares her work, and I, enter in these lines, sometimes an hour or two before the show, kind of prepping things, and I think that's more of a sign of Mindy's ability to capitalize on those numbers. So another thing I want to mention, a lot of times Mindy's plays are already in the system, so she's getting the best of the lines already. It's just when we have a deadline here on the show,
right?
And again, part of our show, Morning Steam, is trying to show you or reflect the latest line move, because the line moves in the morning, even though the limits are low, the lines are moving on limit bets and sharp action. So we're giving you that first look at where those lines are moving. We've also told you in some situations, Mindy, where we've looked at a line and said, well, look, obviously so and so is not playing. And indeed,
Right.
that's always the case when we see some bizarre lines, and there are some interesting moves today already to look at. So anyways, click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. There you'll see all the cappers over there. I want to shout out Collins again for another good day, just 2-0, but another winning day for Collins. He's been building up.
That's what it's all about. I mean, I look at Tiffany, all you got to do is stay ahead of the game. I mean, this is a hard business to be in. We all know that, right? If we could all do it, we'd all put our, money out there on one play and be millionaires if we could pick that, every day. So yeah, I mean, take your $70 and run. Ramon, take your $180. I mean, like, it's awesome to beat Vegas every day. So don't ever feel bad like, hey, I only won $10. Well, yeah, you won $10. That's hard to do. So it's all about taking that money, being smart, making good plays, and staying ahead of the game. And that's what it is. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. Then you have a big day. Then suddenly you're up 3,000 units like Ramon in the NBA. I mean, that's what it is. It just takes a lot of hard work, a lot of practice, also a lot of discipline, not to play anything that's out of your wheelhouse. I mean, how many times you listen to Ramon and be like, hey, I really, really like this one. I've lost about 3 points. I'm going to stay away. Not everyone can do that. So, that's why we're just trying to give you as much information as possible in order to make the best plays out there for you.
And take a look at some of those numbers. I think most impressive here on this board is for the month, 7 of the cappers in the green for the last 30 days. So good job over there. You can click on the Premium Picks tab or head on over to our homepage, and you can start to see not only those handicapper leaderboards, but also what's coming up on Tuesday, as we have best bets coming to you from our cappers. Ben's in there with an NBA Taco Tuesday bet.
It's like my favorite day, Taco Tuesday.
Best bet. I capitalized on one of the local Sonic had some 50-cent corn dogs and bought about
Yeah,
half a dozen
Ramon.
of those while watching the football game. So hope you got some large size candy bars, everybody. And Tony's in there with a 3-pack with a best bet in Lamaction, it looks like, and also an NBA best bet. Nick also with NHL. Already plenty of best bets peppering the board there. And don't forget 3 packs on our $15 also. Collins has a Maction and World Series 3-pack, and Ben with a NBA and MLB 3-pack. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20%. We here to tell you that, but we're also here to give you free picks. So we should get rolling now. We've already gone a few minutes and want to start to preview today's action. Mindy, this is going to be start, with the World Series, of course, followed by NBA, huge NHL card, and then we'll continue into college football with the early Saturday games and some interesting tilts there. So,
right.
All right. If everybody on Team Steam is ready, we'll get ready for the free picks rapid fire and ready to go, starting with the World Series. Game number 3. We were just here 24 hours ago, Mindy, but we just can't roll the same video because the handicap has changed slightly, so we're going to need your opinion on it. I don't know if the pick will necessarily change or your opinion will change. I'll just tell everyone yesterday with McCullers and Syndergaard, we had agreed that maybe the under was the side there, but now Ranger Suarez has moved into the starting rotation. Should be an upgrade if you go by maybe the line movement here and the fact that the Phillies are going to use the left-hander. I don't know where they're going to end up in Game 5 because I still think the Phillies will be all hands on deck here. I did have a premium yesterday on the Phillies, but has anything changed for you in this? And also you can talk to us, Mindy, about Suarez here. Houston, yesterday we talked about them being maybe about a $130 or so, and now it's gone down because maybe Suarez looks like an upgrade from Syndergaard, maybe statistically, but potential-wise, I don't know. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, statistically, if you look at him, he's 1-0 here in the postseason. Had a really nice outing, 1.86 ERA, 9 Ks, versus a team like, the Astros that had been striking out 10 plus times per game. Maybe they've gotten, a little bit more away from that. He has 5 walks, so he does put, folks on base there. Also, that's something that you got to be worried about too, right? I mean, can't be putting guys on. The Astros are definitely going to take advantage of that. They're fast and scrappy and usually very smart and don't make a lot of errors on defense there either. The Phillies, we have seen them make some errors out on the field, not being able to turn to, things like that. But to me, I still think, where we were at yesterday, I'm glad that it got put back to 8. I still think that is the play. I still think under the 8 is the play for us here still today. I don't know how you feel about that, Ramon.
Yeah, well, actually, it looks like a huge move, actually. I mean, I'm sure I saw it right earlier when I entered that in, and now we're seeing almost a full run just this morning on possibly some, I don't know, could it be a sharp action here? It just, it's hard to say sharp action. We're talking about such a huge volume game. Like a World Series. So Latifa says go over, but she might, buy it down a little bit. You're going to lay some pretty heavy juice if you go down to 7.5. Maybe I could check out that number real quick. But, Houston, it's been a struggle for them, definitely, when they visited Philadelphia, just in regular times, much less a World Series, right? So the games have gone over here when they played in this year again. Again, they're only going to meet once a season right now, and I don't even know how the schedule is going to work with the new revamped schedule. I guess teams would actually meet more frequently, interleague and out of their division in the future. That's what the league is aiming for with their new perspective on how they're going to have the schedule in the future. But nonetheless, here in the World Series, yeah, uh, hey, it looks like it's going to work out kind of for Philadelphia, considering what we were saying about how they may have overshot it a little bit with their pitching in game one, right? When they kind of pulled out all the stops and gambled and ended up with that win. And now they're able to bring Suarez, who, I don't know, Syndergaard, if you talked about these two guys just a couple of years ago, you'd say, who is Ranger Suarez? And, Noah Syndergaard is, always has been. Has Noah Syndergaard underachieved in his career? He's had a pretty great career and some, and great numbers, but has he, really lived up to what was expected of him? I'm not so sure of that. But
Well, otherwise he probably wouldn't have been traded, right? I mean, ultimately.
Yeah, but a big moment, and again, when he gets, not in the game for this one as they end up switching to Suarez. So yeah, at 8, Mindy, I'm willing to go again on the under here with Suarez. Look, the Astros, they hit lefties pretty good. That does kind of worry me a little bit, but I thought we were looking at a 7.5, and I wasn't ready to pull the trigger on an under at 7.5. I know this is juiced. I see it right there, and yeah, I think there's some under at minus 115s out there as well. So Butterscotch says take the under as well, and I think what we have seen now. I don't know with the 2 days off now, but remember what the big discussion point was, Mindy, about why all the good teams ended up getting, not all, the teams that got upset because they got off to slow starts is because they had the rest, they had those buys, and baseball is such an important game of timing. You cannot replicate no matter how hard you try with batting practice pitchers and machines and whatnot. You can't replicate playing in the major league game on a day-by-day basis. One day maybe doesn't affect you, but 2 days or more, like those other teams had when they had 3, 4, and 5 days off, it came back. So is the timing of the bats affected by, types of layoffs? So I think at 8, we're safe to go. Let's do it again. Let's try it again.
All right, here we go.
Like I said, Suarez, I don't know. I mean, I might not call it, especially because the Astros do hit the left-hander as well, but I still like the Phillies spot here, despite me trying all the way. To me, it's still a pretty good spot for Philly today. We may need to see Houston. I was saying 5 or 6 games. We might be heading to those 7. And interesting now, they talked about moving the game to Thursday, where the Eagles will play the same time as the Phillies on Thursday now. And then a game 7 would be against Sunday Night Football. So baseball really, hey, it's kind of like life, dude. You can't worry about the other guy, right? You just worry about yourself. And they got to play the games sometime. So, baseball, it is what it is. And, if they've, hey, they were long surpassed in my lifetime when football became the number one sport. I mean, when I was young, baseball, I think, was kind of considered number one, but not long after that, football kind of took its dominance over in the, early 80s and beyond that forever. So, we'll still watch and we'll see. But I don't know. I think we're going to be heading for 7 games now. I'll change my
prediction.
I'll still like lean Astros for this series. Don't like the price anymore. Like I said, I think they're priced too high now, considering the Phillies have the home field advantage. And look at this game. I mean, they're getting plus $1.05 here or so, plus money, or even money at worst. So, but unders are play. Game 3 of the World Series. I haven't checked. Probably should check the weather, but nobody said anything. So,
Right. Like maybe we shouldn't make that mistake again.
yeah. Again, another advantage Phillies, I think, with the instant extra day off. I think because they get to adjust their pitching to where they feel comfortable, whether or not it's hit or miss. They feel like even if Houston is better against lefties, Phillies feel like they want to go with Suarez here in this spot. And Blake says, "Forget it. I'm done with baseball."
It's a sure win.
Oh, tonight. Okay. Well, tonight. That's fine. A lot of people are done betting baseball in May, but
Right. I know Ramon is, he was the same way, right? You were like, well, if I'm getting, if I'm going to have to, I'll do it, but I'd rather be out the last month or so.
well, the September gets a little bit. I was hoping to finish strong in September, didn't do it, but postseason, I think I want to
Yeah,
say,
I was talking about regular season there. Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of like a betting week, 17, 18 for the NFL, right?
Butterscotch has got our weather report.
Perfect.
64.
That sounds like a
Sounds
good day,
nice.
64 at game time.
All right, let's get over to the NBA where there's a 4-game card tonight off of last night's busy card. I don't know if we talked too much about the results yesterday other than our results, but we'll just talk about the 4-game card. Clear sky, says Butterscotch. Start this one off with the Bulls at the Nets. Mindy, the Nets are the worst home spread team practically of all time. I think at this point, the way people are talking down about them, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I was looking at it earlier, but they're like 10-33 their last 43 home games against the spread or something. Pretty sure that's pretty close. It might be exactly right, actually. But anyways, and it kind of goes back. Look, you could throw in the Kyrie Irving thing last year. I mean, that was definitely pretty much half the season. If I'm talking about 40 game sample size, we're talking about last season, and the Nets. We're still a highly rated team. They still are. I mean, they're still a championship contender despite what's gone on here early in the season. Maybe they won't be because maybe this is more of an resonance of what they are headed for with their chemistry issues, arrogance, whatever you might call it. But they are a slight favorite tonight against the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this one was pretty tough, right?
Usually way more, right?
Right. I mean, but the kind of way I have been looking at this is the Bulls have just had to come from behind as of late, and so I don't see them getting out to really fast starts here. Chicago, they've been outscored by 30 points in its first 7 quarters. I just think the Nets, they've been, kind of, pretty much inconsistent, I would say, for the most part. But they are 5th in field goal percentage. And what's been happening, though, is they just haven't been able to shoot from 3, only at 33% from 3. I just think, though, that with this Bulls team not being able to get out to, good fast starts, I'm going to take the Nets here at home, laying the 1.5. All they really got to do is get a little bit of a win here. It's not like they have to try to beat the Pacers by 9.5 or something.
Right. And that's what I was saying, when I'm shouting over, hey, man, don't forget, they're not laying, their usual. That was the thing. I mean, if you look back at all those games, usually they're laying 7.5, 8.5,
Right.
not, big points at home. The Bulls are coming in playing pretty well, I think, for, what expectations are maybe, doing well at this point. But Brooklyn, not only just 2-5 straight up, but 1-6 against the spread. I mean, that's home and away. I mean, they're not doing anything. And the series has been a total under, but I don't know today. I mean, this one could get. I think it could be. I know what you're saying about a slow start, but the Nets have to go, man. They have to go if they're going to stand a chance in this game. I think they've got to figure that a 240-point game is the way to go in this one if they're going to win. I don't know if they can do it much with a defense the way things are going. So Bulls, Butterscotch says, check those Bulls injuries is what he said. Got Drummond out, Dosunmu out. So Dotson, let's see, Drummond out, Dosunmu out. So there are some key injuries there, but I don't have any trust in a Mindy. I'm going to go against you. I don't trust the Nets at all. I'm a big, who I like on the Nets, Mindy, out of everybody? I like Joe Tsai. I like Joe Tsai. He deserves better, and I'm sorry he is enamored with these players that he has. Maybe he's done with these players and he just has no way to get out of this situation. But I think he has a chance to be a good owner, a championship owner. I just think he got a little bit too excited with being able to acquire the type of players that are on the team, and it's kind of has not worked out for him. So in this one, we're gonna disagree to start.
We're gonna challenge.
Somebody's gonna win.
Right.
All right, Bulls and Nets. There it is. 6-1 to the under last 7 meetings, but I don't know if that's going to be the case here. If it goes way over, I think that's going to be better for the Nets, Mindy. I gotta tell you. All right, Strag Live coming in with his 3-teamer for tonight. Maybe we jot this one down. Vegas on the money line. A little intermission here, but so we can take a look. Vegas on the money line. They've already. That's the game. I don't want to tip our hand when we get to NHL, but that's the game that's been a wild mover this morning. I want to make sure we get the goalie situation right. We get there. Calgary on the 3-way against Seattle at home. They're a big favorite. And Rangers Philly under, where we've seen a lot of steam already down to 5.5. So let's get back to basketball, though. Just want to get that in so I don't miss it. I know that. Right. Warriors and Heat. Well, the Heat have been a disappointment, to say the least, so far, but the Warriors are struggling on the road, Mindy. So what's going to happen? What gives here? These teams are combined 3-11 against the spread.
Well, that's what you said. The Warriors tend to kind of play to their competition, just get done what they need to get done, and it kind of bit them in the butt last time, right? I'm going to take a look at the over. Over's 4-0 in the last 4 in Miami, 5-0 the last 5, head-to-head there as well. Golden State, they're pretty much an over team, kind of whenever they want to do it. So I'll go ahead and take the over, 227.
All right. And, let's just call it for what it is. I'm going to go against you. 2 in a row here, I think, in this one.
Challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, when I see right now, look, Golden State, they're an over team. There's no doubt about it. 6-0-1 to the over so far. And look, Butterscotch says, look at this great price you're getting on the Warriors. Miami is, the struggling at this point. Like I said, Golden State 0-3 straight up on the road so far, but Miami just 1-3 straight up at home. And the other thing going for you, Mindy, is the series itself. I mean, even though it's a East-West conference, they have gone over in 5 straight meetings. So I'll go over 227. Mindy goes under. I think she gets the best.
No, I'm the over. You're the under.
Yes. Let's say it again to be clear. Mindy goes over 227. I say go under 227, and I might be maybe against Butterscotch here. I don't know if I'm liking what I see. Look, Miami's got to turn it around. I don't think they're awful. I don't think they're what we've seen so far. And the Warriors do they do need that road win, but they need to get the confidence going. I mean, remember, everything's not necessarily hunky-dory, right? With Golden State. Yeah, they put it behind them. Everybody's going to be a professional from here on out, but we'll see about that. Warriors need to start winning on the road to be a championship team. That's the way I look at it. Teams that win on the road are the best teams. Okay, the Magic and the Thunder. The Thunder, a 3-point favorite, and this total is up to 217. Wow, it was 217, went down to 215, right back up to 217.
Well, I mean, I'll go over the 217. Over is 5-2 the last 7 in OKC. Orlando here, they've been kind of the over team here this year, but not necessarily, head to head has this been historically over matchup. But, the Thunder here, they do have the over 8-3 in OKC following a straight up win as well. So I'm going to take a look at over 217 here with this latest line movement.
Yeah, so we're getting the worst of it, certainly. I say we, so you can already see what's happening here, Mindy. I'm not going to go against you. I'm not going to pick a side. I'm going to go over in this one. Yeah, I had this closer to 220. I think today with these two teams, Orlando has been struggling. Watch out, though. This might be the right spot, I think, for Orlando. Look, OKC's been hot, 5-1 against the spread so far. Orlando doesn't do anything in this series, but just check out that subtle line movement. Oklahoma City, I think they opened 4 for the most part, now down to 3. It's a low spread. To me, that kind of signals maybe a spot here for Orlando to play a good game, maybe get that upset. But let's take the over. That's what they're going to need. They're going to need a high scoring game, I think, in order to pull off the upset here against OKC. Orlando's done very, very poorly in this series, 1-7 against the spread against OKC. But I'm kind of leaning Orlando, but my pick will be with Mindy in this one. We'll go over 217 with the Magic and the Thunder.
All right.
Kind of sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons game. Does anybody know what that is besides you and me out here, Mindy?
Maybe not. I don't know. That's like, totally, 1985.
Minnesota and Phoenix. Phoenix, a 4-point favorite here. This total has gone up to 228. Interesting, because this one also went down, maybe a little bit of a head fake, as I like to call it, and then right back up to 220. It went as low as 226.5, like you saw there on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like, how can I go to the under? I'm still going to take the over. Suns are first in points scored, first in field goal percentage. I don't see a whole lot of defense in this game. 8-2 to the over in the Suns' last 10 games, following and against the spread win. 4-1 the last 5 home games here as well for the Suns. I like the over in this one here today.
All right, and for me, I'm going to take Phoenix. I'm not taking Phoenix. I'm taking Minnesota. I think Minnesota down to 4 now. It was as high as 5. Again, this is another one of those, hey, everybody likes betting favorites. This is a great spot for you to take Phoenix. This is probably the lowest of the number. It was 5. It's now 4. To me, that says, watch out, Minnesota. This is a good spot for Minnesota today. Look, Phoenix is 5-1 straight up. They're 6-2 in the last 8 in this series with Minnesota. I can't sell anything to you on this as far as the trends are concerned, but it's a spot for me that I like with Minnesota. 4 out of the last 5. Minnesota's gone 1-4 to the under in their last 5. Mindy does say go over. I'm not convinced. I was having a little technical issue. I feel like it's on my end. I'm gonna just check maybe real quick on
Yeah, so you
Twitter and
finally
see if.
came back. But otherwise, I was
Okay,
getting just a couple hit and misses. So here,
I felt
try
like
again,
it was
Ramon.
on my end. I'm at a remote
Yes.
location. I'm in a remote island for only sports betting. I'm leaving California because they don't want
Uh,
sports betting here. Sports betting, we're jumping election, and it's going to be shot down big time
oh, you think so?
here. So I should leave California. The whole say it's barely coming in at about like 30%. It's really getting shot down. Both propositions, both on site at
So
casino
you don't think it's going to
wagering
pass
Oh,
the
not at
gambling,
all.
huh?
No. In fact, DraftKings
Really?
has already. Remember, they talk about. I'm sure you've heard. All the ads. Oh, it's bombardment. DraftKings, they pulled all their money like over a month ago and said no more ads because we're just wasting our money. There's no chance sports betting
Wow.
passes here in California. It is going to be handed a resounding defeat,
Really?
despite all my Facebook posts to my friends.
All right. So what was your pick on that one, Ramon? I never got to
Thank you.
officially
Yeah, let me
hear.
review that because of that.
Yeah.
So, Mindy, I'm going to take Minnesota. I like the subtle line move there from 5 to 4. I think that's key here in this one. I gave several reasons here, and Matt says he did here over, and that was Mindy's pick. Mindy likes the over in this one, and I like Minnesota in this one. So let's move on from
All right.
basketball since we had those technical issues, and hopefully everybody got that there at the end. I expect it could happen to me again, so bear with me, and we'll move on to this huge hockey card, Mindy, tonight. And just want to mention a couple of notes coming in that I saw that so far this season in the NHL, home favorites with a line move in their favor, meaning home favorites that have increased. For example, they've been $1.30 and they moved to $1.40, or a 175 goes to a $2. Well, those teams this season are 45-17
Really?
for a plus 12 units so far this season. Notice that's 28 games
Yeah.
above 500, but just plus 12 units. But nonetheless, you're laying favorites. So
Right.
still profitable to take these home favorites with line movements, but better yet, home favorites with line movements on the puck line are plus 23 units. So they're covering that goal and a half at a pretty strong rate. Home favorites with a line move in their favor. On the other end, road dogs with a line move in their favor. So a road dog that might have been plus $1.50 that goes down to say a plus $1.35. Doesn't happen as frequently, but 14-6
Yeah.
this season for a plus 12 units. You notice that's just 8 games over 500, but plus 12 units. That's road
Isn't
dogs
that
with a
fascinating?
line
Yeah.
move in their favor. So you might see a few of those here as we go over this big card. Just keep that in mind. I won't be rehashing that stat because it doesn't necessarily pertain to every game, I think, but it might pertain to your game. So I don't mean you, Mindy, but I mean whoever's watching.
Probably
Whoever
mine.
out there are. We
Probably
almost got
mine.
our 40 live viewers, and we're so happy to have the average view counts. Really stoked with you guys. Really doing well on this. But
Thank
let's get to hockey, Mindy, here and start off at the top of the card. I was calling up my. What happened was my internet, I think, crashed here at the remote site, and I can't get my goalies up right away. But hopefully,
Yay,
we'll just
Latifa, NHL.
Yes, Forsberg and Vasilevsky. Maybe it's Ottawa and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay a $1.95 here. Total 6.5.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the over. It's 11-4. The last 15 meetings, overs 8-2 in the last 10. In Tampa Bay, overs 3-0-1. The Lightning last 4 games following a win as well. Overs 4-1. The Senators last 5 Tuesday games. I have this modeled out at 7 goals. I will be taking the over.
All right, Mindy says go over in the Ottawa-Tampa Bay game, and I'm going to take a shot with Ottawa here on the money line in this one. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take a dog
It's
here.
150, you think, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm going to just be on Ottawa here. I like Tampa Bay. They've been mediocre at best right now. Ottawa, they are 0-3 on the road, but 4-4 this year. They've done pretty well. So over's gone 8-2 to the over last 10 in this series. Tampa Bay's won 5 out of the last 6, but I just like the price here at $1.70 or better. I'm going to take Ottawa on the money line as my free pick here on the show. Give Ottawa a big chance to score an upset yesterday. We missed with our upset pick yesterday.
Yeah.
Pretty big time. I was pretty mad with that. So I'm going to come back on a free pick with Ottawa. Mindy says go over 6.5. And I was trying to see if I had the any updated goalie information. Looks like Forsberg and Vasilevsky. I'll maybe mention it if I see something else because I'm a little behind down there. Philadelphia and the Rangers, and we've seen some big time line movement here on this one on the total. I'm showing right now. I just typed that in wrong. It's 5.5 over 20.
Yeah, but it was at 6, right?
It was at 6. In fact, there were some rogue openers at 6.5 even in this one. Now, maybe there was talk that Shesterkin wouldn't play or something. Nobody's confirmed. Only a couple goalies confirmed on the whole card, I think, so far. But here you have the Rangers. I'm showing them up to minus 240 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have this modeled out at a 3-2 game, so I think I should still be good at 5.5 anyway. But definitely preferred a 6 in there to give me a little bit of leeway and a push. But the under 6-1 the last 7, 4-1 the Flyers last 5 road games. All under trends here for the Rangers this season. I'll go ahead and take a look at the under.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, I think I prefer the under, but I mean, I definitely am not preferring it at 6.5, at 6. I mean, at 5.5.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, there were some 6.5s very, very early. I mean, that just scares me there on that one. So I'm going to end up taking a pass on this one with that big price with the Rangers. Philadelphia's done a pretty nice job. 7-1 on the puck line, and here you're getting them at maybe minus $1.30. Why don't I want to do that? Can I do that? Can I change my mind? I'm going to go with Philadelphia on the puck line. 7-1 on the puck line. Though Philadelphia, who would have thought that they're 5-2-1 straight up so far this season? And now they've got his Scotch says they are soaring. Take the plus money. He wants them on the money line. And I don't know, the Flyers, they kind of sometimes they get off to good starts too during the season, and then all of a sudden it just falls apart. So maybe that won't be the case this time around, but I'll take Philadelphia. I'll give them one more chance here in this one.
One more. That's it. That's all. One more.
Yeah, they are up already like 550 units, money line units so far. Rangers, despite their 5-3-1 record, already down 150 units because they're always laying these type of big prices and favoring Mindy here. The series 1-6 last 7 of the under, right? So that would say that we got some goaltending here, and maybe that will be the case. But I'll take Philly on the puck line. Mindy says go under that 5.5. Free plays. All right, now this is one that has moved pretty massive. I mean, I'm even showing with some 165s now, and it was 125 or 130 early on. So the Knights, they're obviously, I mean, they're out of their minds at this point. I mean, this looks like the Golden Knights from 2+ years ago now, all of a sudden, right? And the Capitals, well, I mean, they're still what can you say? They are 3-1 at home, so pretty good game. But man, Vegas is taking all kinds of action here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, be in contention there with that parlay that we saw come up on the board here today. I like those Golden Knights. They're 3-1 versus the Capitals in the last 3 games. They're winners of their last 4, first in goals against. I was kind of looking maybe at, Thompson or whatever being in goal with his 1.67. But either way, I don't think it matters here who they have on goal necessarily. I I like the Golden Knights here.
Well, Mindy, you know what? I mean, judging by this line move, I mean, I'm thinking it might be the fact that Thompson could be in goal because
Right.
there was no doubt, and that's what I'm showing. In fact, now I'm showing the matchup. I've finally caught up down here on my connection, and it looks like it's Thompson versus Lindgren.
Okay.
I would just want to update in case they take a screenshot and put this up as the thumbnail, and I want to take at least a 50-50 chance that we'll have the right goalies up there when they click the thumbnail, and I'll just so I think that's probably on the line move. I was all fired up about Vegas at minus $1.25 and $1.30. Probably would have been a premium. Still like them here, but the fact that you like them can be good enough for me to give us a consensus play. I think in this one, Mindy. I think we should do it. I think we should. Yeah, I think we should take Vegas in this one. And you mentioned that parlay. I thought they were on Vegas with us.
Yes, they were. I'm going to be in contention with him on that. Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I'm going with Scott, because it was Vegas, and then I forgot the second one already. Canadians?
It was Calgary on the three-way.
Calgary.
Yep, and then something in San Jose.
Under. No, it was under in the Phillies game. All right.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. Mindy and I have a consensus play on the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, Vegas. I don't know. Vegas winning is kind of sounds like good for business to me.
Right.
So not for us, right? I mean, Vegas. They were a fun team to watch, and when they, struggled last year, and Mark's for whatever reason, when this guy's around, he's a winner. And they when he was out with those, it went all the way downhill. So
100%, right? Yeah.
We've got a
consensus play.
Okay.
I think you might be spinning a little bit again, Ramon.
Mindy, I'm gonna like here. I'm in the next game if I can.
Yeah. So we got, the Bruins versus the Penguins here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under. The under's 9-2 in the last 11 meetings here, head to head. 5-0 in the last 5 in Pittsburgh. So I have this one, modeled out at a total of 5 goals. So I got it going way under, that 6.5 here on this one. So definitely like the under. And I'm not sure if Ramon's going to be able to get back. He might have to maybe, restart or something. So we'll maybe just kind of keep going and see when we can get him back here. And the thing is he has to, full control over, this podcast. So control wise, he's in charge of it. So we'll just have to keep going, even though we have, he's coming back.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for doing that.
All
okay.
Right. I thought maybe we'd have to keep going there for a while, but
I even brought up. I thank you. Yeah. Hopefully this won't happen too many times, but appreciate everyone. Appreciate everyone's patience there. Let's continue on right away. Won't waste any time. Boston and Pittsburgh here. Ullmark and DeSmith. In this one, Pittsburgh. It's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em all the way. 6.5 under 15 for sure.
Yeah, and I went ahead and gave my rundown on Ramon. I'm going to go ahead and do the under in this one. I have this modeled out at 5. So I have plenty of room here in this one, I think, to get me home in it today.
Yeah, and the goalie situation looks like Yari will be in goal for Pittsburgh here. And I'm down. I'm down with the under in this one between these two teams. The series has been, hopefully, I don't know, you might have mentioned these, but I missed it. So 2-9 to the under in the last 11, including 0-5 here at Detroit. It's been a good series, no doubt, for Pittsburgh. I kind of lean Boston, but if Mindy's got the under, I like the under here as well. I know it's tough to go against. This is kind of a marquee matchup, I'd say, today, especially Pittsburgh. They are 3-0 at home. We know Boston red hot VGK in Boston.
Right.
We make a futures bet on who might make the those teams combined 16-3 right now, best teams record wise. So, but let's go under with Boston and Pittsburgh and make another consensus play before
That's
they
what this play.
before the
Move
internet
that line.
takes me off the air. Okay, we'll keep rolling here. Montreal and Florida. Montreal and Minnesota. Flurry. What am I doing? Minnesota minus 240, and this total has dropped considerably. 6/15 now.
6/15. Man, I was wanting to go under here in this one as well. The last game out between these two, even though kind of both of these teams sometimes, head to the over. But between the two of these, their scores are usually things like 1-2, 1-3. Pretty low scorers. So to me, it kind of looks like it's headed that way here again. Allen, he only puts up, 2.85 goals against. Wild, they are those under trenders. They're 4-1 and 1 in their last 6 as well. I'll still take a look at the under at 6. I liked it better at the 6.5, of course, but I think we can, only score, 3, 4, 5 goals in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I might consider buying it back up because I also like the under, and I liked it at 6.5. I worry about 6 goals. It wasn't necessarily that strong for me here, so I'll probably end up with. Look, it's been all Minnesota in this series, 8 straight wins, 14 of 17, but. I was just going to say exactly what Scotch put in the
Right.
chat. I'm going to come in with Montreal on the puck line, minus $1.25 or so. That's going to be my free play in this one. Look, Minnesota, they're 3-6 on the puck line, despite their 4-4 record so far. And this series has been an over series, no doubt, 5 straight at Minnesota. So
Right.
I got Montreal maybe getting that extra goal. Maybe that's what worries me a little bit about the total. So I'll take the puck line, Montreal on the puck line, and Mindy says go under the 6 in Montreal and Minnesota. Islanders and Chicago. Islanders here $1.85, and the total 6/15.
Yeah, I mean, Blackhawks, they're 5-0 versus those New York Islanders off 2 or more days rest. Blackhawks, I like them here. I'm going to take them at the plus 1.5, about minus 165 on that one. Islanders have scored, 14 goals in the last 3 games, while the Blackhawks have scored 11 goals in the last 3 games. So they're putting up a lots of goals here in their last 3. That's why I'm not so sure that I want to take Chicago straight up on the money line. That's why I like them here a little bit more on the puck line. I'll take the Blackhawks plus 1.5 goals.
All right, I was actually considering them on the money line, but since they're, I think, a reasonable price, right? Minus $1.55, which was a little bit cheaper, but I think the Blackhawks are going to stay in this game. I mean, they're 8-1 on the puck line. You said, man, that's great job, and they've won 9 of the last 12 meetings against the Islanders, despite some of Chicago's struggles of late. It just updated the goalies there because it looks like Sorokin, take it for what it's worth, he hasn't quite been what we expected this season, but 13 of the last 16 meetings have gone under. I think that helps the puck line here, especially at home. And I'll agree with Mindy, and we'll take a consensus play. Take the Blackhawks plus 1.5 goals. Teams are combined 14-4 to the puck line, so Islanders, are getting some puck lines, but they haven't been favorites in all of them. So let's take Chicago plus 1.5 at minus 155 or so.
Let's do it.
Not thrilled about that price, but what can you do? That's the price.
Yeah, it's like on the edge of what I like to play. The high end.
Sprinkle. How about if I just mention a little sprinkle on the money line? I do kind of like maybe Chicago on the money line as well, but want to get a consensus play here with you because I do like Chicago. All right. My LA Kings looking good on the road. They did it again. They crushed yesterday. And in fact, a guy, Bennington, is kind of had some success, and he tried to come off and talk some trash to the Kings, and they would have none of it. But looks like Cal Peterson might end up with the start on the back-to-back here today with the Kings going up against Dallas and Wedgwood.
So is Wedgwood confirmed then?
No, not yet. I
Okay.
mean, Ottinger actually, though, he has.
I saw Ottinger, but that doesn't mean
No, well, I think he actually has an injury designation.
really.
I
Okay.
think in this one, so I don't think he's ruled out of the game, but just the fact that he has an injury designation to me might say that Wedgwood might be in goal here. The price $1.35 with the Kings on a back-to-back. They are playing so well. I mean, that does look more like Oettinger in there. Total 6 over 20. So, but that's all I saw was that he did have an injury designation, but was not ruled out.
All right. Well, I was going to take a look at the Stars here today. They're 9-3 versus the Kings off of 2 or more days rest. Also, I was going to say, those Kings are running into Ottinger, right? He's got that 1.40 goals against average. I kind of like Dallas at home here in this one today.
All right. Mindy says take Dallas. And again, no confirmation of the goalie, so I can't really say that that he will not be in goal. Let me see if I can call up that injury information, see exactly what it is. I do like the under here. I think it's 6 over 20 now, so I'm going to move Mindy. I'm going to move this line against me here.
So it's not just me, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but to me, that might indicate that he is in goal. Now, there's no doubt that even though Peterson or Quick hasn't been confirmed, it's LA that's on the back-to-back. So certainly it might be possible that Peterson is quite likely in the net instead of Quick. In fact, my information has updated the probable from Quick to Peterson.
Okay.
Just about to get to that point now with Oettinger, a lower body injury, and he was expected. That was yesterday, so expected to return in early November. He'll be reevaluated in a week.
How early November? Yeah, so maybe not, huh?
Yeah, so he may be out for a week, according to an injury report that I'm reading on one of the major hockey sites. So take that for what it's worth.
Yep.
And again, my handicap was definitely in with Peterson and Wedgwood because I had Wedgwood up there. I thought it would be 6.5. So I was really leaning premium here, Mindy, with this game because the Kings are on a roll, but man, they're on the back-to-back. I know they scored the 5. It was real funny the way Binnington, he kind of came over. He was getting pulled from the game, and he tried to go over the Kings bench and talk some trash while you're getting pulled from the game because you gave up 5 goals. So I'm going to go under as a free play instead. I want it as a premium, but I'll take it as a free play. And Mindy will take Dallas. How dare she? But I get it. LA on the back-to-back. And I hope this this run, especially these road games. Like I said, I love teams that win on the road. Hopefully the Kings are, I don't want to say for real, but just a playoff caliber team that can get something done because they do. Those scores are interesting.
Right.
Nashville and Edmonton here, and I'm showing Edmonton $1.55. Total now 6.5, towards inching up. Maybe it's 6.5 over 20 now.
Interesting. I like the under. It's 7-1 in the last 8 meetings there in Edmonton. Unders 3-1-1 in the Oilers' last 5 following a win as well. The Predators were just shut out versus the Capitals. I have this one modeled out as a 2-3 game. I'll take the under.
Yeah, it continues to be an extremely sharp side here, the under, and that's the way I've got to see it too. I'm gonna agree with you in this one. Man, the sharps are all over the under. I don't see one sharp move actually coming in at all. This series, like you said, a dead under so far. Edmonton's owned this series of late. 6 straight meetings they've won, and they are 6-3 straight up. Nashville just 2-7 on the puck line. Kind of leans to me like maybe it's going to be a real good night for the Edmonton Oilers here. So, but let's go under in this one with a consensus play. I love it at 6.5, actually.
Right. I was like, yeah, please inch up. That'd be
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. Well, some of my handicap, some of my handicaps said, maybe over on a 6,
Yeah.
but it was negligible. There wasn't a lot of. I didn't have a lot of confidence in seeing the numbers that came out. Talking about my numbers and the fact that it is 6.5, and most of my numbers were around this, more towards the 6. Uh, I like it. I like it to go under. Let's do it. Move
Consensus play.
consensus play. Big cards. We got 4 plays
Right.
already, and we'll probably have another because there's 4 games left. And with Seattle and Calgary here, Calgary 225 now, total 6/20.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a look at the over total here. I kind of feel like a broken record here with this one with the Kraken. I tend to, hit that over, even though we did not get the last one. It ended at a 5-1 game, so it hit at 6 instead of the 7 that we needed. But it's over is 5-0 in the Kraken last 5 following a win, 4-1-1 to the over on Tuesday games. Over is 4-1 for the Flames versus team with a losing record there as well. Again, like I said, we've been kind of losing some of those when they were set at 6.5. So I like this one at 6 today. I think we, worst case scenario is a push in this one.
I like the under as well, but I really was hoping for a 6.5 here. I mean, there were actually some 6.5 openers out there. Uh, Maybe it'll go up. I don't know. I think people don't have a lot of confidence necessarily in Seattle's scoring. Maybe Calgary 5-2, just 3-4 on the puck line. However, so far and they've won the last 4 meetings. Markstrom. I was going to check to make sure, see if we have any information on that. But I'm going to take Calgary on the puck line. I'm going to wait. I still might come in on this game, with all due respect, Mindy, to playing this game. If I see 6.5, I'm probably going to move on a premium here. So I don't disagree with you at all. I will take Calgary on the puck line. I'm going to lay a 1.5 here with Calgary. Despite that 3-4 puck line record this year, I think it's a pretty good spot for Calgary in this one. And I'll take Calgary. And Mindy says go under the 6. New Jersey and Vancouver in this one. New Jersey, $1.20 now, and the total 6.5 under 15 or so. Yeah.
So I'm gonna look to the under. It's 7-1-1 the last 9 in Vancouver, 7-2 in the last 9 here. Unders 4-0 in the Canucks last 4 at home. I see this one as to me it's coming in right under. I see it like a total of 6 goals altogether. Whether that be a 4-2, that sort of thing is kind of where I see that one headed. I got a total of 6, so I'm going to take an underplay in this one.
How about Mindy, New Jersey, 12-1 in the last 13 meetings against Vancouver? We know they don't play as frequently as opposite conference opponents, but you mentioned it, 7 of the last 11 going under. It's been kind of an under series when they do meet, but at 6.5, I like it very, very much. New Jersey, look, they are the favorite here. They are 6-3. Vancouver just 2-5-2, and I think looks like Vanasek in there against Demko. So you do have Demko in there, hoping he can get it going. So let's take another one. You said it. I said it. We're gonna have another one. Here it is. Under in New Jersey and Vancouver, play number 5 on the consensus picks here on the NHL board. Appreciate everyone in the comments. for joining us today, everyone right now watching. Thank you so much, man. Fired up about these numbers every day. We analyze them when we're done. Florida and Arizona in this one. Florida now 265, 6.5 over 15. No change. Right there, what it says on the screen.
Oh, I'm looking for
And
my
Arizona.
game. I got it. Here it is.
Okay. Well, I was going to say everything was right except maybe Vejmelka is actually going to be in goal and not the backup today.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Coyotes today on the puck line, plus 1.5 goals here at the minus 115. I think that, the Coyotes here have a better chance of losing by 1 than the Panthers here of winning by 2. Panthers are averaging, 3.8 goals the last 5 games. Coyotes 2.995. So there's only like a 0.8 difference. So not even like, a whole goal difference in this one. Florida's 1-4 on the puck line. In their last 5, 1-4 versus, on the puck line for Florida. They're just not really getting it done. Coyotes, on the other hand, they're 2-0 on the puck line at home. So that's how I'll be playing this one out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at the puck line, Arizona, that 500 record overall and winning record at home, despite just being 2-5-1 this season. Yeah, Florida, look, they're a winning team, no doubt about it. They're off to a 5-3-1 start there. Living up to expectations. I think maybe we thought they'd be maybe a tiny bit. It's too early to tell. They certainly have enough form. They should win this game, no doubt about it. Will they win it by margin? I'm not sure, but I don't know if I can totally get on board with Arizona right now. They're trying to sell their home, like they're trying to sell it as a home ice advantage right now. But I'm going to go under in this one. I like it at 6.5, and I like that Vejmelka might be in goal right now over the backup. So under is my call, under 6.5 in Florida and Arizona. Mindy says take the Coyotes on the puck line. All right, we've made it through without further interruption, maybe here within Anaheim and San Jose. And I'm showing San Jose now just $1.20 favorite. Mentioned earlier, Mindy, I didn't go over every game, but here is a road dog with line movement in their favor. So that would favor Anaheim if you went by that stat that I said earlier, because there's definitely a move here on Anaheim. And the total is interesting, Mindy, that we have a couple of 5.5s here on this board when we really is the scoring starting to come back down to earth a little bit would be maybe the question for you, or is it specific to these two matchups only, the Rangers, the Philly and the Rangers, and this game?
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of too early to tell, but I mean, I kind of feel like, scoring is on track so far. So I think these are kind of, two maybe, specific to these games, not necessarily that the scoring is going to decrease. That's my, personal opinion. And so on this one, I'm going to go ahead and look at the under the 5.5 goals here. Unders 11-5 in the last 18. With San Jose, the under 7-3-1 the last 11 meetings here. Also, if you take a look at it head to head, it's notoriously under 4-0. Also the under is 4-1 the Sharks' last 5. I'm playing on 2 days rest, so I'm not too worried about this. I think it's going to be maybe a lack of scoring here. I'm going to take the under.
All right, yeah, and for me, I'm going to take Anaheim in this one. I tried to sell on that trend, so I'm going to stick with it here and say Anaheim comes out and plays a good game here against them. Look, these teams are bad. This is worse. This is not the marquee matchup of the night. Combined 5-14 overall. Anaheim, Anaheim 2-7 on the puck line. San Jose actually been decent on the puck line, right at 7-4. Anaheim, though, they've won 6 out of the last 7 meetings in this series. And the series, like you mentioned, Mindy, where your part of your handicap comes in, 7 of the last 11 going under in the series. I will say this: if Anaheim's going to win, it's going to need to go over. So I don't know if I can necessarily get on board with the under if I'm going to take Anaheim here. I'm going to take Anaheim, even money or so. Mindy says go under the 5.5 goals, which is the big move, one of the big moves of the day. Certainly a very sharp move, Anaheim, San Jose under says Mindy. So. All right, we got through the hockey, and we've still got a ways to go here on the show. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We got college football, more college football action coming up. We're going to start with the Saturday card. If you're interested in the Tuesday Maction, the Wednesday Maction, the Thursday, the Friday college, our video previews of those games are already up on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, as well as Tony's Picks up there. Tony's Picks, get it? His video is also up there with previews of the games from this week. So, or you could just subscribe to our picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. If you don't want to go back and do the work, watch the videos, whatever, on our college football picks, you can subscribe to our consensus plays at Tony'sPicks.com. You never miss a pick with us. You don't have to necessarily catch the show each day. We do offer the picks over there at Tony's Picks. Okay, Mindy, we'll go right to that college football card now. And I believe we got 12 games we're going to cap here and make picks on. And we're going to start with one of the most interesting games as part of the Commander's Trophy Series. First meeting between the triumvirate of teams, if you will. Air Force, you like that? Air Force on the road against Army here. I mean, I don't know, Mindy. I'm sure you'll tell us about all the trends that talk about the games going under between the service academies. I mean, it is a massive, massive trend that for some reason continues to get ignored almost. But will that turn around? How are you looking at this game?
Well, I mean, I was looking at the side on this one here with Air Force, actually. They're 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 meetings with Army. Air Force is 5-3, their last game being, a loss to Boise State. But otherwise, Army's won 2 in a row. But I think the big difference is going to be, on the defensive side here. Army gives up just, a lot more points than the Air Force does right now. So it's going to be, if you can stop, a little bit of the running game with Army, I think Air Force will be okay to cover this one.
All right, Mindy says go ahead and lay those points with Air Force, and it opened as low as 5, so laying a little bit of extra points. I'd say if you're going to take Air Force, you might want to do it now. They could actually be 7 by the time this one kicks off, in my opinion. Not that matters for much. So, okay, Mindy, well, since you picked the side, then I have to go over those massive trends. Maybe I could just broad brush it because I'm sure everyone knows, but since 2005, 80% of all games played between Air Force, Army, and Navy, whenever they play one another, Service Academy games go under. So 10 of the last 11 meetings in this series have gone under. Air Force, yeah, it's been a great series for Mindy. 9-2 against Army against the spread. So, but we know what these teams are all about. Yes, Army 5-2 to the over this year. I get it, but when you get these academy games that are running the ball into each other and smashing each other, I'm going to go under. It's a free under is my free play. Probably should do a premium on it with all those trends, but I'll give it out here on the show and go under. 80% since 2005. I don't think there's many trends. People can, throw out trends. They don't like trends, whatever. That one's pretty interesting, no matter how you look at it. I'll go under in Air Force and Army. Mindy says, take the Air Force. It's a great way of life.
Right.
All right. North Carolina and Virginia now. Man, the North Carolina train just keeps rolling along here, and they are favored by 7.5, total 58.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Mac Brown fan. I've, said that. I always thought their coaching has been subpar, but maybe not so much this year, right? Carolina, they're impressive. They're 7-1 this year, won 4 in a row, last one over Pittsburgh. Virginia 3-5 on the other hand. We lost to Miami in 4 overtimes on a game that could not get anywhere close to the over. North Carolina, they're ranked 9th in the NCAA in scoring at 41 points a game. Virginia, only 16. Yikes. For a Virginia team, 16? Man, that's just crazy this year. They outgained Virginia by about 140 yards per game as well. Favorite is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings against the spread between these two. UNC 4-1 against the spread the last 5. I think North Carolina can, win and cover this one, even in Virginia.
Mindy, North Carolina opened as high as 11, and now they're down to 7.5. That usually, puts the sirens going off in my mind. But I really like Carolina here to keep this going right now. I mean, we know Virginia's not doing very much. That's why they're 1-6-1 to the under so far. Yes, this series has gone over for the most part, but and Virginia's done very well in these meetings of late. But this North Carolina team is looking very, very good, and to me, it looks like value at 7.5. Let's take a consensus play. Let's show what we're made of this week with our consensus plays so far. We had 3 on yesterday's show, and I don't know if it's a matter of being more selective, but let's take Carolina here with the value at -7.5 against Virginia. All right, Mindy, pressure's on you here. Iowa at Purdue. Purdue, this one's been a moving favorite, no doubt about it here. Purdue opened some spots as high as 7, quickly bet down. The money quickly came in on Iowa. Did actually dip down a little bit even below this, but back up to 4.5 now with Purdue. And look at that total. That's totally dropped from a high of 44.5 down to 42. We know what that's all about.
What a wild start to the game or to the handicap with, that spread it's been crazy. There's a huge difference between 7 and 4.5 in there when you're trying to handicap. Iowa's 4-4 coming into this game, having beaten Northwestern 33-13, which surprised most folks, including me. I didn't have too much hope for that Iowa team coming into that one. They also were able to score their first, pretty close to their first touchdown on the season, right? Might have gotten one versus Nevada there earlier on. But Purdue, they're 5-3, lost to Wisconsin, their last one out. Purdue here, they actually put up some points. They average about 33 points a game here, with Iowa maybe being able to score a couple touchdowns. Lots of field goals, though. I just think Purdue's going to have too much offense. I know that Iowa defensive team is pretty good, but Iowa, they're still going to struggle against Purdue putting up points.
They really should struggle against Purdue to put up points. I mean, they really should. I mean, look, Purdue has gone over in 6 of their 8 games, but this series, 4-1 to the under the last 5 meetings. Purdue's pretty much owned those games, right? I mean, Purdue's dominated the series of late. So, it looks cheap. We could have had a little better number, but we're definitely getting a better number than that high number. And I think Purdue, I got them closer to maybe even more than 7 here. Let's take Purdue, come right back with another consensus winner here, and lay the 4.5 points with Purdue against Iowa. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like, I sometimes think, a 7 or something could be interesting, but I'm not so sure about a 4.5.
No. And that was a, early number. I mean, I think most people were, in this 4.5 range, but I like Purdue in the game for sure. Okay, well, I'm trying to give Nebraska every benefit of the doubt here, and think this will be the day, this will be the week. Minnesota's had some issues, but they've done well against Nebraska. So, but this spread has gone up. I mean, opened as low as 10.5. Now we're up to 14.5 and climbing. Total 47.
Yeah, I would like that 10.5 a little bit better, but Minnesota, they're 5-3. Just took out Rutgers pretty handily, 31-0. Nebraska lost to Illinois. But yeah, that one, Casey Thompson was out with the hand injury. Probably would have been a little bit different game. They were winning that one when he left, and then backups came in, throwed about 3 interceptions or so. But Nebraska still, no matter how you look at it, they struggle defensively. They give up a ton of points, especially we know this Minnesota team is going to run against them. Nebraska can't stop the run. They're Minnesota, even though having their troubles, middle of the road here, say these middle games, they're still ranked, second on offense, third and third down efficiency. Minnesota's 5-1 against the spread. I think Minnesota is going to cover here. I'm trying to find ways Nebraska can get to a bowl game. I just am having trouble finding it.
Yeah. Look, in this one, look, we've had a couple bad weeks here, a couple on Saturday, and to be honest, I've looked at what we've done right and what we've done wrong, and what we've done wrong is what we're gonna hopefully we'll get it right with this game. I'm gonna be on with you with Minnesota. The games that we're losing that are the difference makers in our record over the last 2 weeks are the games where on road favorites that the spread has increased, just like this one. But I honestly have Minnesota closer to about a 16-point favorite here. So I still think that, for 14, yes, we're missing the value, much like we did in the other games that we took those losses on. I mean, I'm not telling anybody and not making an excuse. I look back. That's what you do as a handicapper. You look back, see where maybe your mistakes lie. But it's just so hard to get behind Nebraska in this situation. With their 2-6 spread record, they continue to disappoint week in and week out. I mean, I tried to sell them, and they were in the game last week for what?
Well, they were.
A quarter and a half.
Well, yeah, like I said, once Casey Thompson went out, it was pretty much over. Then again, I like Smothers over Purdy myself, and they only played him for one series, and so it's one of those two. Like once something like that happens, they tend to get away from their game plan, and instead of running and putting him in positions with throwing little outlet passes and such, they were still throwing the ball down 30, 40 yards and getting intercepted. So again, I think we could also do, I also think Nebraska can do a better job of play calling. And I think they've been suffering from that too. Sometimes getting, way too cute to try to, I think, impress the fan base also.
Yeah. And, looking back on, this probably we'll see what happens with the coaching situation. Looking back on it, no one's going to win right now as a Nebraska coach. If that's what they've got to do, someone's got to come in and turn the whole situation around. So, not Scott Frost. He'd probably be just in the same situation as this coaching staff. There'd probably be no difference in what's going on right now with Nebraska. It's just that, kind of like with Auburn, right? Well, I don't know if I can quite equate it with Auburn. They're paying money up, a lot of money to get rid of these coaches. I don't think Nebraska's paying quite as much, are they?
No, Nebraska's number one with paying out coaches.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes.
So two teams that are,
my guarantee on that one.
Well, again, and here's, Auburn, with Malzahn now with this firing, these are not great situations, and you wonder why these coaches continue just after just modest success to get big long-term contracts like they're going to be swooped away by somebody else. When I don't know, it doesn't, not necessarily, unless you got one of those elite coaches. Probably best to maybe. You want to secure your guy. I get it, but let's take Minnesota.
I'm kind of hoping that Mickey Joseph would stay, because then I think they could just go ahead and overhaul the whole defensive, coaching side that's in there right now, rather than if we do a new coach again, you're going to rehash the whole offense and defense. I think offensively, Nebraska's sitting in a pretty good position. He's able to bring in those guys from LSU, Florida, Georgia, getting some of those better recruits, but it's just going to be, if you continue to, overhaul systems back, every, 3-4 years, just going to really struggle that way too.
Well, and one last stat to top it off: Minnesota 4-0 against the spread against team in their last 4 games against sub 500 teams. Let's take Minnesota 3 in
All
a
right.
row. Consensus plays. All right, stick in the Big Ten again here. Maryland and Wisconsin. Wisconsin a 5.5 point favorite, and the total has dipped this morning a 0.5 point to 52.
Yeah, Maryland 6-2, beat Northwestern last time out. Wisconsin 4-4, with again that last one being versus Purdue. Maryland, still putting up tons of yards here on offense. Not too bad. Wisconsin themselves 389 yards. I'm going to take a look though at Maryland. I just think they're going to be too fast for this Wisconsin team. They're 4-1 against the spread their last 5 on the road, so play well on the road also. I'll take Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland 6-2 straight up so far. So, having a pretty decent time of it, and getting the points here, I think, isn't a bad situation. Look, right now the series has gone 5 straight under when these two teams have met at. Let me see. I'm sorry. Wisconsin 6-2 to the over, including 6 straight games. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. But I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I think that maybe we think of Maryland as kind of being freewheeling and high scoring, and Wisconsin's got those over numbers, but I think it's going to end up being kind of a low scoring game. I'm going to take the under here as my play in this one. Man, I really was looking to go premium here with that, but I'm not sure of the side. I'm not necessarily with you on this one, or willing to lay the points with Wisconsin. I want to give out a play, so I just want to let everyone know this is probably going to be a premium play for me. But I'm going to give it out on the show here. Maryland and Wisconsin under 52. I could add 54, so I could say that I'm not getting the best of the number, but it has been as low as 50.5. It's kind of right in the middle right now. So under in Maryland and Wisconsin for me. So Wisconsin is 0-3 off of a spread wins this season, so that also favors Maryland. Okay, Kentucky on the road here at Missouri. Well, Kentucky still been pretty good. It was unfortunate what happened, but last time out. But they're a favorite here on the road, 2.5. It seems like it's moving a little bit back and forth. I'm not sure it'll go to 3 total. Down to 41.5. This one has been a strong mover to the under.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm missing something here because I feel like this spread is just way too low for this Kentucky team, and I don't know if it's just because of that, huge loss to Tennessee. I feel like I'm missing something here because I feel like this Missouri, even though they beat teams like South Carolina, gave Georgia kind of a run for their money, I don't find Missouri as being particularly all of that. I don't know. They don't look like a confident team. Like they don't really I don't know what you want to say, like use their force to push around other teams. I just think though that Kentucky's going to be just entirely, too fast, too good. They're going to throw the ball around all over Missouri. I just think Kentucky's going to handle this one pretty easily. They're 5-2 against the spread in the last 7. Between these two as well. I like Kentucky a lot. Again, I feel like they should definitely win this one by 7 to 10 points.
All right, Mindy says take Kentucky on the road.
So let me know what I'm missing, Ramon.
No, I don't know. I'm not real confident. I think in the side right now. I want to give Missouri a chance, but you figure Kentucky the way they're playing and the fact that they've done well in this series. Like I said, 5 straight at Missouri between these two have gone under, and these two teams combined, Mindy, 2-14 to the under so far this season. 2-14. They're both 1-7 to the under. Make it easy on everybody. 1-7 to the under. So missed out. I missed out on all the value. Opened as high as 46.5. Now it's 41.5. I'll go under. Free play. It was a premium. It was probably a premium at 44.
Right.
But I don't know now at 41.5, even with the combined 2 and 14, because like you mentioned, I mean, Kentucky still can. They have potential. They've been good defensively too, no doubt about it. Ohio State and Northwestern, oh boy. Ohio State, huge favorite here, 38.5, total 61.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like again, Ohio State with this minus 38 is just a huge number, but Northwestern just isn't really showing me a whole lot. Buckeyes are 8-0 now, beat up Penn State. Not quite covering. They should have though. Northwestern 1-7, lost to Iowa. Their one win versus Nebraska. Who knew? Ohio State, they're ranked fourth in points scored. They average, 49 a game. And again, Northwestern, they can sometimes score once. I don't know. I just kind of take a look at, even with this big spread, I think Ohio State's going to cover it. They're 4-0 against the spread in their last four versus Northwestern as well.
They really should. They should hammer them right now. Name the score, right? But it's tough to. I know it's tough to lay. You're 38.
I know, but I feel like that has to be my play, right? For.
I mean, well, that's the other thing. I mean, Northwestern, like you said, the one win, right? But the series has gone over in 5 straight. But how are they going to go over? Northwestern's they have to score some points. I'm not sure they can even score against Ohio State.
I'm not sure either.
In this one. Ohio State's covered 7 out of the last 9 meetings. I've got to go under
right.
In this one, Mindy. It feels like probably should be a premium to me. I don't want to lay 38 points. Good luck to you. I'm not going to take Northwestern. I would have laid like 35 probably.
Yeah.
But and I know it doesn't, 35, 38.5, but again, what could the final score?
Like you said, if it's 42, 48, even a 56, you could probably still get that under.
Oh yeah.
Even with Ohio State putting up 7-8 touchdowns.
No doubt about it. I mean, you need you need basically 45 to 7's not going to do it.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, that's the scary part of it. But, it might be 49 to nothing. So that'd be okay. I mean, I'm in there. You're in there. I think that's the way I would look at it. So we can be on, different plays here and easily both win this game.
100%.
No one's going to, Northwestern's not going to come close. So to the spread, not disrespecting your play. I'm just saying,
no, I get it.
You're not going to come close to winning. I mean, that's what I mean. But. All right, Western Carolina and Charlotte. In this one, we've got checking here. Charlotte, Western Kentucky, 16.5, total 72.
Oh, I don't know, Ramon. Western Kentucky, they're 5-4, lost their last one to North Texas, 40-13. While this, 2-7 Charlotte team beat up on Rice. Geez, 56-23. Western Kentucky, I think they've been, much better this year in scoring, right? They score about 8 to 10 more points per game than this Charlotte team. And they also give up less defensively here also. Western Kentucky 5-0 against the spread their last 5. I think Western Kentucky can get this one. I don't love the spread. I mean, that's why this is, a free pick here. But Western Kentucky, from what I've seen, they're fast, they're well-rounded. They could do a pretty much, anything that they want to probably in this game. It's just going to be whether or not when it gets down to junk time, if they're going to allow Charlotte to kind of maybe get back into it. That's the only thing that kind of worries me about a 16.5 here.
Yeah, and again, like I said, when we're laying these, it opened 15, did touch 17, came back to 16.5, and these are the games I'm trying to, avoid getting excited with you and taking Western Kentucky. I might actually lean towards Charlotte here in this one, but for me, I think I've got to go over in this one, knowing what we do about Western Kentucky. Charlotte's bad. They're giving it up. We know that. Western Kentucky, you mentioned how well they've done in the series against Charlotte, covering the spread, and Charlotte isn't able to cover 2 games in a row at all. So I think they might give up enough points here to Western Kentucky. I'm going to go over 72 in a wild high
A
score.
wild one.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be wild that Charlotte will, threaten them or anything. It looks like about a 2-touchdown game. Tough for me to go one way or the other, but I will go over 72, Western Kentucky and Charlotte. All right, 4 more games to go here on our 3 picks rapid fire. Maybe we've been long-winded, but we have to iron. We're trying to iron these things out because of our 2-week little mediocre run here. So Florida and Texas A&M. Texas A&M favored in this one by a field goal, total 53.5.
Yeah, it's kind of I think sometimes it's disappointing having a Florida team be 4-4 when you're used to them, lighten it up here, just 5-10 years ago. They lost 2 straight. The last one with this loss to Georgia. They of course got a little bit of a backdoor cover, depending on if you had a 22.5 or a 22, so it was really close there. Texas A&M, they've been really up and down, have had their struggles. They're 3-5. They lost to Ole Miss 31-28. Give them a run for their money, though. Florida, they put up 30 points a game. Texas A&M 22. They also outgained them by yardage. Florida does by quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and take Florida. I think they can come in there and really move the ball around versus a Texas A&M team that I find to be a little bit more one-dimensional. It's kind of interesting, how Texas A&M used to have, the guys, Johnny and stuff. And then, now they just seem so flat, or Dak or whatever, they just seem flat as a team. I'm going to take Florida.
Yeah. I mean, Texas A&M were kind of the borderline, we talked about, and I'll just expand a little bit on this, not only this game, but we talked yesterday about the top 4 teams, and we're expecting the first reveal tonight. And it looks like everyone wants to put those 2 teams ahead of Alabama that we had maybe in the top 4. I get it. I mean, they probably will be ahead of Alabama in this reveal tonight, talking about TCU and, of course, Michigan. But, I think we like SEC football, you and I, and think that maybe Alabama is better than those 2 teams. So. But they have the loss. So, anyways, Florida, they have a pretty strong rushing defense here. A&M, of course, doesn't run the ball very well at all. I think this game will end up being an under. A&M's gone 1-4 to the under in their last 5. I have it under 49 actually. So I happen to like this number very, very much. Borderline premium for me, but I'm going to end up taking the under here. Texas A&M, pretty good pass defense. Florida doesn't pass very well this year, so yeah. Usually we expect A&M, especially through the year. Those years where they were so good, and of course, moving to the SEC was part of their growth to being a national power. So. Now they're, they're a little leaner. It's tough when you're playing these teams week in and week out, not only playing the teams, but, recruiting against them and things like that. So anyways, I'll go under 53.5. Mindy says take those 3 points with Florida. Right, and it was 4, so not the best not the best number, but that's just the way the move went. The move is on Florida. Make no mistake about it. Mindy says take Florida. Tulane, Tulsa. This one, Tulane on the road here, 7.5, total 58.
Yeah, Tulane doing pretty well, 7-1. Ranked 19th in the country. Look at them go.
The spread.
Right. Just had a 38-28 win over Memphis. Tulsa lost to SMU 34-45. I think the big difference between these 2 teams is kind of on defense. Tulsa just gives up too many points. And Tulane, they usually hold their opponents to about 17. Tulane also 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 conference games, like you just mentioned. I think Tulane's going to be able to win and cover this one.
I think Tulane's going to win by double digits, Mindy. I mean, I really do. I mean, look, it hasn't been a great situation for Tulane when they visit Tulsa. They're 1-7 against the spread the last 8 trips, 4-13, last 17 in the series. But this is different this year. This is a Tulane team, kind of like every 5 to 10 years, Tulane just pops up and has a great season. Remember when they had the great seasons with the tragedy, and they end up playing great. They're in the hurricane time, and they just come up and have that ability to put together a great season. And here, I think they have a great matchup here. You mentioned the not only the potential, but the defense as well. I mean, I think they can really hold Tulsa down here. I mean, I think you're going to see a double-digit win. I think you're going to see more of a game that could be well into the low 50s, if not in the high 40s. I think Tulane dominates this one. Let's take consensus play, our fourth play here of the show. Yeah, fourth play. I like Tulane, and I'm really going to like the under. I'll tell you that right now.
Hard to
get me off that one. Yeah. All right, Texas Tech and TCU. We just mentioned the Horned Frogs, but this is no picnic. Against Texas Tech. Yes, Texas Tech has been, nothing. They're nothing on the road right now, so that's kind of the problem here in this one. But 9.5-point favorite, and the total looks like it is 70. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas Tech, they play well on defense, but it's like, geez, I just see TCU. It doesn't matter what they do on defense. All they have to do is outscore their opponents. I don't think they really, care so much. Still undefeated TCU. I thought West Virginia gave Texas Tech a little run for their money there for a while. But again, like, not too many teams like TCU going out and converting a 4th and 15 with, minute 7 left in the game, something like that. I mean, they're just really, really good. Texas Tech lost to Baylor, got beat up pretty well in that one. To me, I thought they would give Baylor a run for their money and just didn't. TCU puts up the 518 yards of offense. I don't know how I can't take, TCU in this one, minus 9.5.
Yeah, I could see it. I want to make a case for Texas Tech, but right now with TCU and that 6-1-1 spread record, not to mention the undefeated record, like I said, they'll be, I would think number 5 tonight when I think Michigan will be 4, right? And teams are combined 12-4 to the over this season, but look, I know what you're saying about TCU, but they can play defense too. They're pretty complete. I think this looks like a pretty high total to me. I had it more about 64, to be quite honest. So okay. I'm going to go under in this one as my free play, Texas Tech and TCU. I'm not convinced they can get the double digits, but I don't necessarily want to get in their way right now.
Right.
The way they're going, they could blow them out, really, if I think, but the numbers say they will not, but this momentum right now that TCU is feeling really hot. Okay, last game for us today. Thanks for sticking with us all the way, folks, through the technical difficulties. And, we've gone a little long on these college games, but we want to get them right. We want to be better on Team Steam. Please comment in the chat if you can guide us along and help us out. But we're doing it here. We're working it out. Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, a 3.5-point favorite, and the total is down to 40, Mindy.
Oh, geez. Yeah, Georgia Tech, they're coming into this one.
Really.
Yeah. Following that big loss to Florida State, 41-16. Virginia Tech lost to North Carolina. But only by 1, 21-22. Tech, they outscore Georgia Tech by, about a touchdown or so. And Virginia Tech is 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 following a straight-up loss I think I will take Virginia Tech at home. I hope they get back to the years of old. -3.5 in this one.
Well, come on. We're never going to get to that.
Oh, come
Beamer
on. I want
ball with
the Father Beamer days.
yeah. Well, I mean, they are combined 4-12 to the under this season, and 11 of the last 14 in the series have gone under. So the fact that Virginia Tech, just because they're 2-6, I mean, we know what their situation is. I mean, this has been a great series for Georgia Tech. They've covered 7 straight, and they're off their nice little surprise there. So I think it has only one way to go, and that's to go under in this one. I've got it certainly closer to about 36 points, maybe 37. It's not a great advantage. I mean, but when you're talking totals, you don't need that big an advantage to call out a play there. So for me, I think under City, Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech. Mindy says lay the 3.5 with Virginia Tech. All right, Mindy. Sorry for the technical problems. We worked through those. We had a good show. Thanks for everyone in the chat for joining us as well. Scotch, Brandon, Gerardo, Latifa, Matt, Carrie, AI Strag was in here. Blake was in here today. Mindy, Ron Elston was here. Richard Apoku coming to us from Nigeria. I might be doing my next show from Nigeria if I can't get my internet to go with us. We're going to just one more time head on over to Tony'sPicks.com where you'll find our premium plays. Mindy, I'm not forgetting here. I'm just a little behind putting it up. I've not forgotten like I usually do. Here it comes right now. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. We'll get Team Steam up there hopefully tonight with our plays. And I was up there yesterday 4-2 with that push in Monday Night
Mindy
Football.
just missed.
Yeah, and take a look at our best bets. Don't forget, everyone puts a best bet in their sport if they'd like. So you always see multiple best bets. You can pick one best bet in each sport. Our $15 introductory and discount offers. If you like, our handicappers want you to try their service. I struck out on my $15 pick yesterday was my hockey play, but still finished in the green. So we'll get it right today. But you see the $15 picks over there. Brandon's got his, Sam's got his, Collins, Ben, and Tony, and 3-packs popular with everyone, or multiple game packs. You see Daniel with a 5-pack in there as well. And don't forget the pick ticker. If you're in a hurry and you need that pick, we got them a la carte every game, $25 over here at Tony'sPicks.com. You see Paul with plays, Nick with plays in soccer, and
who else? Oh,
Morning's team. That's right. Don't forget, we're involved in that game between Ball State and Kent. You don't need to pay that $25, though. If you don't want, Mindy, you can go back and look at our Monday show or find the video. Just type in to the YouTube search bar, Ball State, Kent State, Morning's team. Guarantee it comes right up. So thanks, Mindy. Great show. Do you want to talk about what you have planned for today with our hope for the World Series? Don't forget.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to be involved in hockey. Also, I'm in all 4 games in the NBA. So look out there, Ramon. Watch out. We'll also be in on the I keep wanting to say College World Series, but it's going to be the actual Pro World Series here today. We'll be in that one as well. And make sure you guys too think about what you want to do for. We were looking for suggestions on college basketball on how you want us to cover that, because there's 110 games and we're not going to be able to make it through probably all of those. So let us know maybe if you have suggestions on how you want us to break that down as well. What do you got, Ramon?
Well, I have a suggestion. Over at Tony'sPicks.com, click on the All Cappers tab and get signed up. There you see me right there. over the last 7 days hanging out with Daniel and Paul and Tony. And what you do, just click on the handicapper of your choice, and there you'll find all their packages and their records in each sport. I love it when Tony says, look at all the sports, but you know what? I want more. I want more. I'm missing a few key sports up there, and I want to pick it up, especially with college football right there.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you pretty much need to get into golf and such.
I'll have,
NASCAR.
and you could check out our pick histories and everything like that. And yep, good show, Mindy. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. We'll have more World Series, more hockey, more basketball, and also more college football. We'll dig into more games on that card. It's a bigger card. The buys are bye, and we got more games each week. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and get signed up. All right, that'll do it for the show today. For the Morning Steam, for Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.